What's up, YouTube? We're back with another one. Thank you for clicking on the channel. Here at CoverXL, we appreciate all the love and all the support. The story today that we're gonna talk about is pretty much some kids that robbed a bank. I don't know where they got this idea from, but they robbed a bank. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking right now. We're gonna go ahead and go to this video and get back with you.
Suspected bank robbers so young, the FBI called them the Little Rascals.
Tonight, we're learning more about how they were caught. Only on 13, reporter Jessica Willey tracked down the grandmother of two of those boys.
And Jessica, we understand the grandmother told you she's the one who turned the boys in.
Yes, that's right. She says she saw their photos posted online and called authorities. One grandson is still here in detention. We were told they got away with an undisclosed amount of money. Well, she says those bills weren't real. At the North Harris County apartment complex where the three young suspects live, residents knew all about the accused boy bank robbers. And we soon found ourselves at the doorstep of two of them. This is Jessica with Channel 13. This grandmother did not want to give her name, but she did share how her grandsons, ages 11 and 16, were caught. The police told us that when a relative called and said, hey, that looks like that was me. That was you? It was March 14th, the boys' spring break, when the FBI posted photos of the trio so young they called them Little Rascals. Once the juveniles were identified, ABC 13 blurred their faces. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, around 3 that day, they passed a threatening note to the teller at this Wells Fargo in the Greens Point area, 5 miles from where they live, and then got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. Do you know what happened to any of the money?
What money?
The money that they were able to get away with.
Play money the lady gave them?
They gave him play money?
Yes.
The sheriff's office says the third boy, 12 years old, was caught when he pulled a gun on some workers and was recognized. All three were charged with robbery by threat.
The gun.
Grandma says for the bank robbery, they were not armed.
No, we didn't have guns. None of the kids had guns.
They didn't?
No, so I don't know where they got that from.
Tonight, two of the three remain in detention, she says, adding this is the first time her grandsons have been in trouble.
It really hurts me to even talk about it.
And she is hopeful it's their last.
They learn this, man.
All right, okay. So, what I wanted to talk about first really was the fact that how they did this. They passed the note to the bank teller. They passed the note. So, I mean, that had to come from somewhere, you know. You got to watch what your kids watching, you know. I mean, it came from somewhere, you know. I mean, we pretty much don't have an understanding on what our kids picking up on at all times, but we do need to make sure that we take the measures that we can to prevent stuff like this from happening and see stuff like this possibly occurring one day. The kids was 11, 12, and 16. Now, the 11 and 16-year-olds seem like they was probably brothers due to what the grandmother said. She was speaking about both of them, and they said they caught the 12-year-old later, and the news saying he had a gun, the 12-year-old had a gun. But the grandmother saying her grandkids didn't have a gun. And that also what they received wasn't even real money, it was fake money. So now how true any of that is, I don't know. We're gonna have to go more in depth with this story once more information do come out. Being that they so young, is so little they gonna probably really speak on. And we'll see, man. We'll see how that turn out. But the grandmother did state they wasn't armed. So, you know, she can't speak for the 12-year-old because she, you know, don't know what he do or don't have, obviously, because he's not in the house. But her grandkids, she's saying that they know, she knows that they didn't possess any firearms. Now, she's saying that, but she also didn't know that they was robbing a bank. So I don't know. We will see. But it's funny, they call them the Little Rascals. And hey, you know, that's pretty much the moniker that they hold, they standing up to, you know, they getting into stuff, you know, kids getting into stuff. Now the 16-year-old, he heading down a real messed up path, being that he's, you know, right there on the age of adulthood and is doing this type of stuff. So that can turn out, you know, for the worse for him very soon if he don't get himself together. You know, hopefully he do. The grandmother did state that this was their first, her grandkids, the 11 and the 16-year-old, their first time ever getting into trouble. And I hope that it is true, because I mean, if it's the first time getting in trouble, this is something that can be corrected. You know, went along and wasn't troubled children from, you know, knee high or nothing. This sounds like something that she wasn't even aware that could occur through them. So that's something that I wanted to, you know, kind of bring out there, that, you know, they didn't seem to be like troubled kids from what she was saying. But where was the adults whenever the kids left the house? Like, where was the supervision? Was the 16-year-old the supervision? Because he is old enough to watch kids. It just seems like if he's part of this, then his responsibility is on a bare minimum too, from what I'm seeing. But let's see. They are currently in a juvenile detention center, which, hey man, I'm for it. I'm for it. Give them a taste of what's to come if they continue on this path, because we got to do better. We have to, you know, make sure that we take whatever measure we got to take to keep these kids out of trouble, to make sure that they don't want to get back in trouble if they do get in trouble. And we have to stay on top of that, you know. And all the parents out there, y'all have to stay on top of your kids and really discipline them. Because if y'all don't discipline them, there's some people that's gonna discipline them that's not gonna discipline them out of love like you would discipline them. You know, just know that. You gotta stay on top of your stuff and stay on top of your kids and stay in their life, stay involved in whatever they involved with, indulge into their daily activities. You need to know more about what they doing, who they doing it with, where they doing it. It just, you know, that's common sense though. I mean, especially in today's world, because they can potentially be victims to somebody else that's, you know, preying on the youngins, you know? So yeah, you got to think about all of that. All of that is important to stand on top of, you know, as parents, you know. And that's one thing I noticed. Where were the parents? I mean, I see them say grandmother, but I mean, she can't move and be as active as, you know, their parents are, I'm pretty sure, because she, you know, as y'all seen, she looked like she's up in age anyways. So where you didn't hear nothing about the mom, the dad? You didn't hear nothing about, they didn't even want to be on the news if they even was in the picture. We don't know. You know, I mean, if any more information come out about this story, I will follow up with it. But man, that's crazy, man, to be that young. When I was that young, I was doing little stuff. I had some troubles, but I mean, robbing a bank, I don't think I could have played that game. I couldn't have played, not that young. It's a new age though, new era. You know, it's the new generation. You know, anything goes. You know, once you can move around and be more mobile, you know, whether it's walking, riding a bike, whatever, they getting into it. Whatever can be got into, they doing it. So we got to stay on top of that. But I thought I'd bring that story to y'all today because I thought it was, you know, crazy that this even happened with such young kids and robbing a bank. Robbed a bank. That's the crazy part. Man, I mean, it caught my attention immediately once I seen this story. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring that and share this story with everybody. And this story, by the way, it came out of the north area of Houston, Texas. So, I mean, y'all, you know, put the pieces together if y'all can find more information on that story. You know, you get down in the comments, let me know if y'all have any more information on this story. Get down in the comments, let me know, and we can talk about it. But that's all I got on this right now. If y'all can, hit the like button. What that do is bring these type of stories in an algorithm to where it can be shared throughout the nation so people can know what's going on in their communities, in their regions. I don't cover just one area, I cover all areas of the country. And just to kind of bring more awareness to the people, what's going on in the city that they in their region, you know, just try to just keep people in the loop of the news that we have in the forefront. And, you know, if y'all like the content, hit the subscribe button so that you get all of my content, you know, hit the notification button, and it'll make sure you get all my content. But if you subscribe, you know, everything I do will pretty much be on your timeline eventually. That's all I got right now, fellas and ladies. I appreciate y'all clicking on the channel. Till next time, salute.